A very good morning and welcome to News at 10 on Rajya Sabha TV. My name is Aishwarya Kapoor and here are the latest headlines that we are tracking this hour. 8 activists of banned Students Islamic Movement of India or SIMI escape from Bhopal Central Jail, kill one security guard. Pakistan continues to violate a ceasefire, continued shelling along international border in Arispura and Suchetgarh sectors. Air quality levels plunged to severe in Delhi and surrounding areas. The smoke by fireworks blanket the national capital region. Italy continues to be rattled by earthquakes. Quake in central Italy on Sunday damages buildings and leaves thousands of people homeless. And Indian hockey team regains Asian champions title after 2011, beats arch rivals Pakistan 3-2. Well, a big breaking story coming in this morning. Well, 8 activists of the banned Students Islamic Movement of India or SIMI escaped early today from the Bhopal Central Jail. Now, they escaped by killing a security guard and scaling the prison wall with the help of bed sheets. Well, the escape occurred between 2 to 3 a.m. The activists killed the guard by slitting his throat with a steel plate and glass after overpowering him. Now, further details are awaited. However, a hunt has been launched to nab them. All right, to get more details on this story, let's go across to Madhya Pradesh Home Minister Bhupendra Singh, who is joining us on the phone line. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us this morning. Sir, what can you tell us about the latest on the escape of the SIMI terrorists from the Bhopal Central Jail?
देखिए, रात में ये सिमी के एक आतंकवादी फरार हुए और इनको अरेस्ट करने के लिए हम लोगों ने सारा स्टेट की पूरा सील किया हुआ है बॉर्डर को। कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि हम लोग शीघ्र इनको अरेस्ट करने में सफल हों और हम लोग विश्वास है कि जल्दी अरेस्ट कर लेंगे।
आपसे जानना चाहेंगे कि ये पहली बार नहीं है कि मध्य प्रदेश के जेल से इस तरह से टेररिस्ट भागे हैं। इससे पहले 2013 में भी खांडवा जेल में इस तरह की वारदात हुई थी। तो क्यों कोई इस तरह का प्रिवेंटिव मेजर नहीं उठाया गया?
हेलो
सर, आप तक हमारी आवाज़ पहुंच पा रही है?
हाँ जी, अब आवाज आ रही है।
सर, आपसे जानना चाहेंगे कि ये पहला मौका नहीं है कि इस तरह की वारदात हुई हो। इससे पहले साल 2013 में भी खांडवा के प्रिजन से इस तरह की एस्केप हुआ था। तो क्यों किस तरह का कोई प्रिवेंटिव मेजर नहीं उठाया गया इस बार?
देखिए, सेंट्रल जेल हमारे स्टेट की सबसे हाई सिक्योर्ड जेल है
जी, और
भी एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी है, सारा सुविधाएं सरकार की तरफ से वहाँ उपलब्ध कराई गई है। पर उसके बावजूद भी ये जेल प्रबंधन की लापरवाही से घटना हुई है
जी, और
इसलिए जो जेल सुपरिटेंडेंट है उनको सस्पेंड कर दिया गया है
जी।
और इसके अलावा अभी हमारी प्रायोरिटीज टेररिस्ट को अरेस्ट करना है
जी,
इसलिए स्टेट की बॉर्डर हम लोगों ने सील की हुई है। सारे एसपी को रात में 4 बजे ही अलर्ट कर दिया गया है। सारे फोटोग्राफ्स हम लोगों ने सबको भेजे हुए हैं
जी,
और हम लोग को कोशिश है कि इनको जल्दी हम लोग अरेस्ट करें
जी। सर, इस तरह की भी खबर आ रही है कि मध्य प्रदेश सरकार ने 5 लाख रुपए रिवॉर्ड की बात कही है। कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन अगर कोई देता है एस्केप्ड प्रिजनर्स के लिए, क्या इस चीज़ को आप कंफर्म कर सकते हैं?
हाँ, निश्चित रूप से माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने 5-5 लाख रुपए पर हेड अनाउंस किया हुआ है। अगर कोई भी इन्फॉर्म करता है या इसमें हम लोग जानकारी मिलती है तो 5 लाख रुपीस पर हेड इसको अनाउंस किया हुआ है।
सर, आप कितने ऑप्टिमिस्टिक हैं कि ये जो सिमी टेररिस्ट हैं अब जल्द ही पकड़े जाएंगे? आपको क्या लगता है? हालांकि सरकार ने हाई अलर्ट तो इशू कर दिया है, लेकिन आपको आप कितने ऑप्टिमिस्टिक हैं कि इस तरह ये पकड़े जाएंगे? ये
नहीं, से हम लोग पूरा सील हुआ है स्टेट और हम लोग पकड़ लेंगे। हम लोग को पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस है कि जल्दी पकड़। हेलो हेलो।
जी 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 सर।
हाँ, इनको हम लोग जल्दी अरेस्ट कर लेंगे।
जी
भाग नहीं पाएंगे, हम लोग अरेस्ट कर लेंगे।
जी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर हमसे बात करने के लिए और हमें सारी जानकारी देने के लिए। सो दैट वाज मध्य प्रदेश होम मिनिस्टर भूपेंद्र सिंह हु वाज जॉइनिंग अस ऑन द फोन लाइन एंड ही टोल्ड अस दैट द मध्य प्रदेश गवर्नमेंट इज टेकिंग ऑल द मेजर्स टू एंश्योर that the escaped prisoners are caught. Now the government has also announced 5 lakh rupees as reward for any information about the escaped prisoner, and a high alert has also been issued across all the jails of the state and also all the border areas of the state as well. Remember, these were the very terrorists. They were also involved in an escape from the jail in Madhya Pradesh in 2013 as well. All right, let's get more details on the story. A senior journalist, Gaurav Merishi, is now joining us on the phone line for more. Sir, what can you tell us about the escape of the Simi terrorists from the Bhopal Central Jail? What is the latest that you are getting?
The Director General of Prisons in Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Sanjay Chaudhary, he has spoken with the media persons this morning, and he has informed us that 4 jail officials have been suspended, including the jail superintendent, for dereliction of duty. And a high-level meeting has been called at around 11 o'clock in the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister's residence, where they will be discussing further strategy on how to apprehend these escaped terrorists as soon as possible.
But sir, we would also like to know, this is not the first time that such an incident has happened from a jail in Madhya Pradesh. It has happened in 2013 as well. So these questions are also bound to arise on to why preventive measures were not taken by the Bhopal Central Jail.
Yeah, actually you're very right about this, because some of these Simi terrorists had also escaped from the Khandwa jail in Madhya Pradesh in 2013. And after some time they were caught and they were put behind bars again.
Yes.
But this is the second time in 3 years that they have managed to escape from another jail. And this time this is the most high security prison in Madhya Pradesh.
Absolutely.
Which is the Central Jail in Bhopal. And this is considered to be the most high security prison here.
Yes.
And the surprising part is that this escape happened at around 2 a.m. in the morning after Diwali celebrations were over in the state and the city. And there was just one guard who was on duty at this time. He was Head Constable Mr. Ramashankar Yadav.
Yes.
And when he was changing duty with his other guard, these Simi activists, they overpowered both of them, and they killed Mr. Ramashankar Yadav with a steel spoon. They slit his throat with a steel spoon.
Yes.
And they tied the hands and legs of the other guard. And with the help of some bed sheets, they climbed over the wall of the central jail and just managed to run away. So for them, it was quite an easy escape.
Yes.
They did not have to do much.
Absolutely.
You know,
So those
there
are
are
the big
several questions that are being raised.
Yes, the big issues that obviously the government, really state government, has to answer. Sir, thanks so much for joining us and giving us all those details there. So this is one big story that we'll keep tracking through the day. Let's move on in the bulletin now. While Pakistan continues to violate ceasefire along the international border. Now continuous firing is on in the Arispura and Suchetgarh sector. Here are all the details.
Continued violation of the ceasefire by Pakistan in Arispura and Suchetgarh sectors along the international border. Pakistani Rangers pounding BSF posts in civilian areas using small arms and mortar shells in continuous ceasefire violations in Samba, Kathua and Jammu districts.
पहले भी बहुत शेलिंग हुई है और आज भी मैं कहूँगा इतनी शेलिंग हुई है कि हमारी 2 कौ और एक बफेलो जो इंजर्ड हुए हैं, दो की डेथ हो गई है.
Unprovoked firing from the Pakistani side began in the morning on Sunday and later stopped, but it resumed in the Arispura sector in the evening.
मुंहतोड़ जवाब दिया जा रहा है हर तरह की जो भी पाकिस्तान की तरफ से फायरिंग आ रही है. 7 दिन से ज़्यादा का वक्त हो चुका है. लगातार जो है हमारे जवान जो हैं वो बिल्कुल फ्रंट के ऊपर जो है पाकिस्तान की तरफ आती हुई हर गोली का जो है मुंह तोड़ जवाब दे रहे हैं।
Pakistani shelling comes a day after the Indian Army destroyed 4 Pakistani posts in a massive assault across the LOC in Kiran sector in North Kashmir's Kupwara district. On Friday, 2 civilians were killed and as many injured when Pakistan targeted civilian areas and forward Indian posts along the LOC and IB in Jammu, Kathua, Poonch and Rajouri districts, following which Indian troops retaliated and killed 15 Pakistani soldiers.
दुश्मन को भी काफ़ी नुकसान हुआ है, लेकिन उस पागलपन के जो हद तक दुश्मन पहुंचा है, पाकिस्तान पहुंचा है, इसलिए उसको समझ नहीं आ रही।
Meanwhile, an encounter broke out in Dragmulla and Kupwara between terrorists and armed forces. 1 to 2 terrorists are believed to be in the area. The last rites of Jawans killed in the Machil ceasefire violations were held with full state honour in Maharashtra and Haryana on Sunday. Over 60 ceasefire violations have taken place since surgical strikes by the Indian Army on terror launch pads in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tributes to soldiers on Diwali, spending the day with them at the border in Himachal Pradesh. Now, Prime Minister Modi also said that OROP has been his long-standing dream and his government has fulfilled it.
मेरा भी मन करता है दिवाली अपनों के बीच मनाऊं और जो अपने हैं उनके बीच आया हूं और इसीलिए हंसते खेलते हुए दिवाली मनाने आया हूं।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi spent Diwali with soldiers of the Indo-Tibetan Border Police and Dogra Scouts of the Indian Army at Sumdo, situated at the Indo-Tibet border in Kinnaur district of Himachal Pradesh. He was accompanied by the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and Army Chief General Dalbir Singh.
जब आप जगते हैं तब वो सोते हैं, अगर आप न जगते तो उनके नसीब नींद भी नहीं होती।
Lauding the role of security forces, Prime Minister Modi said there has been a huge response to his social media initiative Sandesh to soldiers. He informed Jawans that people cutting across social barriers dedicated their Diwali to the soldiers guarding the borders.
बड़े बड़े फिल्मी कलाकार हो, खिलाड़ी हो, क्रिकेट जगत के सितारे हो, वैज्ञानिक हो, व्यापारी हो, किसान हो, सरकारी अफसर हो, बाबू हो, मुलाजिम हो, राजनेता हो, मंत्री हो, प्रधानमंत्री हो, स्थानीय काम करने वाला संतरी हो, सब कोई हर एक के दिल दिमाग में जब दिया जला रहा था तो आपका चेहरा उसको दिखाई दे रहा था।
Speaking about the One Rank One pension scheme, the Prime Minister said it has been his lifelong dream and that 5,500 crore rupees that is part of the first of the 4 installments of the scheme has already been disbursed.
पहली किस्त पहुंच चुकी, करीब 5,500 करोड़ रुपए दे चुके हैं। वन रैंक वन पेंशन मेरे जीवन का सपना था जिसको मैंने पूरा किया, मेरा वादा था, उस वादे को मैंने किया है।
On his way to Sumdo, the Prime Minister made an unscheduled stop at Chango village. He later tweeted he was deeply touched by the reception given by the residents there. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And addressing the nation through his monthly radio program Mann Ki Baat, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also greeted the nation on the occasion of Diwali and asked the people to dedicate this year's Diwali to soldiers. Well, he lauded the valour and sacrifices of soldiers. Prime Minister Modi also urged people to mark Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's birth anniversary today during his radio program. He also added that on Sardar Patel's birthday, history remembers how Sikh people all over the country faced violence and pain after Indira Gandhi's assassination. Prime Minister Modi requested people to share their thoughts and inputs for the forthcoming program on the Narendra Modi app and MyGov Open Forum.
हम जब दिवाली मना रहे हैं, कोई रेगिस्तान में खड़ा है, कोई हिमालय की चोटियों पे, कोई उद्योग की रक्षा कर रहा है तो कोई एयरपोर्ट की रक्षा कर रहा है। कितनी कितनी जिम्मेवारियां निभा रहे हैं। हम जब उत्सव के मूड में हो उसी समय उसको याद करें तो उस याद में भी एक नई ताकत आ जाती है, एक संदेश में सामर्थ्य बढ़ जाता है। मेरे प्यारे देशवासियों, कल 31 अक्टूबर इस देश के महापुरुष भारत की एकता को ही जिन्होंने अपने जीवन का मंत्र बनाया, जी के दिखाया, ऐसे सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल का जन्म जयंती का पर्व है। 31 अक्टूबर एक तरफ सरदार साहब की जयंती का पर्व है, देश की एकता का जीता जागता महापुरुष, तो दूसरी तरफ श्रीमती गांधी की पुण्यतिथि भी है। महापुरुषों को पुण्य स्मरण तो हम करते ही हैं, करना भी चाहिए।
Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi led the nation in paying tributes to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel on his 141st birth anniversary today. Well, the day is being celebrated as Rashtriya Ekta Divas. The Prime Minister took to Twitter to pay tributes to Sardar Patel. He also offered floral tributes at Sardar Patel's statue at Patel Chowk in Delhi's Parliament Street. Now, Home Minister Rajnath Singh and Information and Broadcasting Minister Venkaiah Naidu also joined the Prime Minister in paying tributes. The Prime Minister will flag off the Run for Unity later in the day and also inaugurate a digital exhibition on the theme of Uniting India. Now, celebrations are also being organized in states which union ministers would be attending at different places of the country. Meanwhile, the Congress today organized a special march to mark the death anniversary of former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Now, a commemoration program was held at the office of the Delhi Congress Pradesh Committee. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi led the march that was attended by all the Congress Working Committee members and All India Congress Committee General Secretaries. Well, the march began from the Congress headquarters and concluded at Safdarjung Road bungalow where Indira Gandhi was assassinated. Well, Prime Minister Modi took to Twitter to pay tributes to Indira Gandhi on her death anniversary. Well, on to some other news. Well, Delhi's air quality has plunged to severe category after smoke from firecrackers during Diwali festivities blanketed the national capital. Well, pollution peaked in the national capital during Diwali as a hazardous mix of noxious gases and respirable pollutants hang very closely to the surface due to low temperatures and near stagnant wind movement. Now, Delhi Pollution Control Committee's real-time readings were also indicative of increasing levels of pollution with a rise in numbers of crackers going off. Meanwhile, suffers monitoring stations at Pusa Road, Mathura Road, Dheerpur, Delhi University, Pitampura as well as neighbouring Noida had air quality in the severe zone. It had forecast that the city's air will be severely polluted on 31st and 30th of October. The Central Pollution Control Board's monitoring stations in areas like RK Puram, Anand Vihar, Mandir Marg and Shadipur had similar severe readings as well. Now, people have been advised not to go outdoors when the air quality turns severe as it has adverse effects especially on children, elders and those having heart or lung diseases and also enters the bloodstream. And time to take a very short break. Up next, more news slated up. Stay with us.
Harappan sites are a treasure trove of sophisticated pottery. These creations show tremendous advances by the potter's wheel. Creations like the perforated jar, the copper axe, the chisel and knives astound even present-day archaeologists. Figurines depicting yoga poses, chess pieces display a complexity unsurpassed even by later-day civilizations, all of which make the Harappan civilization truly unique.
Welcome back after the break. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi raised with his Australian counterpart Malcolm Turnbull India's concern over the brutal killing of a 29-year-old Indian origin bus driver. Now, the young man was burned to death when the suspect poured a flammable liquid on him in Brisbane. Now, Prime Minister Modi telephoned Turnbull to convey Diwali greetings and also conveyed a sense of concern being felt over the recent brutal killing of Manmeet Alisher in Australia. Turnbull expressed shock at the killing and conveyed to Prime Minister Modi that the matter is being investigated. Now, Australian police had earlier said that there was no apparent motive, including terror or race-related, in the killing of the Indian origin man. Now, Alisher was driving a city council bus on last Friday when he was targeted by a man who threw an incendiary device on him, which sparked a fire. Well, a 48-year-old man had been taken into custody after the incident. And at least 19 Lashkar-e-Toiba militants have been killed and 8 others wounded in airstrikes in Dangam district of eastern Kunar province in Afghanistan bordering Pakistan. Now this signals a major crackdown on the terror groups operating from across the border. The airstrikes also destroyed one BM-1 rocket launcher and one machine gun belonging to the Pakistan-based terror group. The Afghan Interior Ministry, however, did not provide the details of the airstrike and was silent on whether international coalition was involved in the operation. The action against the terror group comes as local officials in neighbouring Nuristan province said that LATE is attempting to establish bases in eastern parts of Afghanistan. Now, the group, one of the largest and the most proficient of the Kashmir-focused militant groups, was accused of coordinating and carrying out attack on Indian consulate in western Herat province of Afghanistan in 2014. Last month, Afghanistan's vice president had also accused Pakistan of waging an undeclared war on its people by plotting merciless terror attacks and training and financing groups like the Taliban and the Haqqani network. News from Iraq now, where the forces there edged closer to Islamic State-held Mosul after seizing the town of Al-Shura. Now, Iraqi troops and security forces cemented their control of the town of Al-Shura on Sunday. The security forces were advancing from the town, recaptured from Islamic State on 29th of October, along the Tigris River Valley towards Mosul. According to Iraq's federal police, now Islamic State fighters offered little resistance and more than 35 militants were killed. On Saturday, thousands of Iranian-backed Iraqi Shia militia fighters known as Hashishabi forces joined the Mosul offensive, launching a campaign to retake the city. Now, the army and security forces, along with Kurdish Peshmerga fighters, have been backed by US-led air and ground support in their 2-week-old campaign to crush Islamic State in the largest city of its self-declared caliphate in Iraq and Syria. Iraqi troops and Kurdish Peshmerga fighters are already driving Islamic State fighters back on the southern, eastern and northeastern approaches to Mosul.
منطقة الشورى البارحة الهجوم الساعة 8 الصبح لحد 4 العصر انتهت المعركة. قتلنا أكثر من 35 إرهابي وحرقنا من عندهم، وباقي الجثث موجودة حاليا بهاي منطقة الشورى اللي هي موجودة. الثاني بعد مقاومة ما عندهم.
هنالك معلومات استخبارية تؤكد أن هنالك مقاتلين أو هنالك يعني تدفق لبعض المقاتلين من الرقة ومن سوريا باتجاه الموصل، خلاف ما كان متوقع من انسحاب أو هروب المقاتلين من الموصل باتجاه الرقة.
On to the other big international story. Well, on Sunday, a powerful earthquake hit and already rattled Italy. Well, the quake, believed to be strongest since 1980, struck at the center of the country, coming just 4 days after 2 back-to-back quakes that severely damaged buildings and left thousands of people homeless in the area. Now, the tremor on Sunday also caused fresh damage to towns that had already been destroyed by a quake that killed nearly 300 people in the month of August. Just 3 days after central Italy shook due to 2 earthquakes, the horror returned on Sunday morning, with another powerful 6.6 magnitude earthquake injuring at least 20 people. There have been no deaths reported so far, mainly because the residents had not returned after a devastating quake here in August, which had killed nearly 300 people and flattened entire villages. However, like medieval Basilica of Saint Benedict in Norcia, many historic buildings and structures were destroyed.
Il 24 agosto fa il terremoto, arrivano le tende per emergenza, dopo 20 giorni le tende se levano, perché non dobbiamo far vedere che qui è zona terremotata, perché c'è il parco che non vuole far mettere i moduli. Ci sono state persone che si sono offerte di pagarle personalmente i moduli.
Scosse quindi importanti, sono nuovi crolli, è stato il crollo qui a Norcia, della Basilica di San Benedetto. Poco fa sotto un'altra importante scossa è crollato la chiesa di San Francesco, sono continue scosse, si ripetono in questo momento all'interno del...
The quake struck 6 kilometers north of Norcia and was felt as far north as the Alps and as far south as Rome, some 90 kilometers away. The metro in Rome has been shut down. Schools in Rome will be closed too to check for the building's stability. In the town of Norcia, close to the epicenter of earthquake, there have been about 200 aftershocks since Sunday's quake. Electrical power is out for many thousands of residences. Many roads were blocked with the debris or cracks. Most locals are spending the night in tents pitched near the town. Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi has vowed to rebuild damaged villages. With winters approaching, rebuilding is a major challenge.
Ma soprattutto diamo un messaggio alle popolazioni. Noi ricostruiremo tutto. Le case, le chiese, gli esercizi commerciali. Stiamo parlando di territori meravigliosi. Stiamo parlando di territori che fanno della bellezza e della capacità di accoglienza il punto fondamentale.
Italy sits on two geological fault lines, making it one of the most seismically active countries in Europe. The government allocated about $44 million to the stricken zones after Wednesday's quakes, and more would be set aside to deal with the fresh damage. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. On to sports now. In a perfect Diwali gift from the Indian hockey team to the nation as they beat arch rivals Pakistan to regain the Asians Champion Trophy title after 2011. Well, in a match that could have gone either way after Pakistan made it 2-2, India kept its composure to snatch a match winner through Nikaya Thimaya and regain the title with a 3-2 win after 2011 in Malaysia. Now, Rupinder Pal Singh, Afan Yusuf and Nikin Thimaya scored for India, while for Pakistan, Mohammad Aleem Bilal and Ali Shan were the scorers. Now, this was the first time that the teams were meeting in the final of a continental tournament since India dethroned Pakistan as the Asian Games champions in Incheon in South Korea in 2014. India had also won the inaugural edition of the Asian Champions Trophy by defeating Pakistan in the final in 2011. Cause for big celebrations when we also leave you with the visuals from across India celebrating the festival of lights at Diwali. Well, it was also the first time that Diwali was recognized by the 69th session of the UN General Assembly and declared as a non-meeting day. Well, the United Nations headquarters in New York was lit up to celebrate the spirit of Diwali. We leave you with these visuals. Thanks for watching.